And I felt then going into Dublin 5 weeks later, I was like, but maybe I could go a little bit faster, because I felt like I could go a bit faster in Dublin or in Berlin. And I stupidly went out way too fast. And I know, like, I've done enough marathons to know not to do that. But sure, I went kind of out with no plan, and I was saying, look, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And I ran through Phoenix Park way too fast. And I remember looking at my watch going, you're going to pay for this, Caroline. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're going to be dead by halfway. And I stayed running, and fell in with a group. And sure, I remember afterwards actually met one of them, and he had ran a 250. Like, I wasn't in any way shape to do a 250. I knew maybe I had a 255 in me, but not a 250. So I went through halfway at 125, and yeah, way too fast, and got to halfway, and then got to mile 14, and everything went downhill from there. Like, I remember I pulled up, I was like, oh, I can't do this, and I pulled up in mile 14, and there was some poor man there with on his bike with a bottle of Lucozade Sport, and he just went, do you want a drink? I was like, yeah. And I was going to ask him, could I borrow his phone? That was it. I was not finishing. I was done. And I was going to ring Brian to say I pulled up, and he gave me a drink of Lucas, and he said, would you not run on for another mile and see how you are? So whoever he was, he got me going again, and I ran on for another mile, and got to mile 15, and I said, right, I've done the mile, that's it, I'm packing it in, I'm not doing it. And I pulled up again, and some woman, actually, that's the thing with Dublin, the support is just unbelievable. Some woman came over to me and she said, if you run on there's a water station at mile 16, would you not run on to there? So I ran on to mile 16. And then I remember thinking, Caroline, come on, cop on. Brian had the two older kids up with him that day to meet me at the finish. And I was like, you can't not finish. The kids are here to see you, and you can't not. So then I said, right, even if I have to walk, I'm going to finish this marathon, but I'm going to finish it. And that was it. I walked and ran that last 10 miles. I swear to God, I stopped so many times. I'd say I stopped 10 times, but somehow managed, only if I had banked that time at the start, I somehow managed to come in under the 3 hours, but it was a tough slog.
How good was that feeling to see 2:59 on the clock, even after such a bad day out, to be like, I can't believe this?
I couldn't believe it, because I felt like I had walked so much of it. I felt like, how could that be 2:59? Because I've been doing nothing but walking, I felt. So yes, it's funny though, when you stay moving forward, you're because I stayed walking, but I kept walking on. I didn't maybe lose as much time as I thought I had lost. But sure, I'd convinced myself that everything was wrong. My hamstring was sore, my glute was sore, but no, I'd gone out too hard, and that was all. I'd gone too hard, and I blew up, and yeah, lesson learned.
But it is a lesson, and even looking at the latest, you've gone and done your 10K PB, so whatever you did didn't bring you down anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I think after that, I took 3 weeks off, and I needed the 3 weeks off. I'd done kind of Berlin and Dublin back to back. Like, there was only 5 weeks in between, and I just took the 3 weeks off, had a rest, and got back to it, and just have been tipping away, but running a lot of slow, easy miles.
Yeah, and that rest is probably what gave you that recovery, although you were still staying working, still staying consistent, giving the body somewhat of a break. You've kind of set yourself up for a good start to the year.
Yeah, hopefully.
So you ran a 37:54 10K only last week, something me and Sean can only ever dream of, but we'll aim to get there at some point.
No, but I swear, I remember, like, my previous, I avoided 5Ks and 10Ks like the plague. Like, I hate, and I still hate them. I absolutely hate them. Like, I feel like, give me a marathon or a half marathon any day. I just feel like they're so hard to go. You're going fast from the get-go. But my previous PB had been, like, last year I did 38 something, but before that I was 40 minutes and 40 seconds was my previous. like I never was I'm not a 10K or a 5K runner. I find them very hard. But I kind of said this.
Tend to disagree with you, Caroline, now that you've got a 37-minute 10K. You're not a 10K runner.
Yeah, well, this year now, I am after Dublin, I finally have signed up with a coach. And so I never had a coach before.